With me now, the guy who really was the clarion call on all of this before it was cool, former presidential candidate, Texas Congressman Ron Paul. Congressman, what do you make of these developments today?
I think they're responding to what they're hearing, but they still don't quite understand it. And I would say Congress as well as the president, they know there's something going on, but they're lost to what to do because they can't change the philosophy of government. They can't change the welfare state or the warfare state, so they have to talk about this. Now, this talk of freezing a few of the expenditures, but it doesn't start until 2011. And it won't happen. You know, that proposal of Obama actually would allow foreign aid to go up, but the air traffic controllers would be frozen. Can you imagine that passing the Congress? This is just talk.
Well, you know what makes it odd, though, Congressman, as you astutely pointed out on this show and many others in the past, is that it's like we've been on this great old binge. Like, I'm going to commit to starting a diet, let's say, on January 1st, right? December 31st, all I'm doing is pigging out the whole day. One last hurrah, right? But now we've had a year of a last hurrah of spending that's been out of control, and in fairness to this president, was also out of control in the last president. Now all of a sudden we've found discipline. I'm not sure I see it.
Well, see, that's in total conflict with their philosophy, because the philosophy that is prevailing here in Washington is that when you're in a slump, you need the government to spend more money. And some of us believe the government should spend less money, and the people should get their money back with lower taxes, and they should spend the money and make the decisions. So that isn't changing. So let's say, and let's hope I'm completely wrong about the economy, I think it's going to get worse. What are they going to do? Hesitate and not give us another stimulus package?
Wait a minute, Congressman. So you think that we're going to go back into a double dip type deal, another reset? What do you?
Yeah, but I don't. They call it double dip, but who got the benefits in the last year's Wall Street? Do you think those 20% who are unemployed or underemployed have felt like things are doing better? So no, yes. So we can call it a double dip, whatever you want to call it. But I think there will be a need. Look at the housing market and the commercial property market. I mean, there are just so many more problems. And how long is it going to be until we get our manufacturing job back? I see the slump having gone on for over 10 years. When the NASDAQ bubble collapsed, we haven't seen any real jobs being built. I mean, we continue to lose jobs. It's just that it's so much more dramatic in this last year or so. So, yes, we're going to slip and slide, but we may have another major crisis. And the way we're going, since we think that spending money and borrowing money and printing money works, that we will end up with a dollar crisis, and then all these numbers won't have any meaning whatsoever. If you go into an inflationary period in a slump, and if you have something worse than the stagflation of the 70s, revenues crash and inflation costs go up, and these numbers, which seem to be astronomical,
you might be right, Congressman, but that hasn't happened yet. And then the argument is that things are too weak to see inflation gallop out of control. You don't buy that, right?
Okay. Well, no. Take, for instance, today the suggestion made that they will tax reserves. Well, what are the banks going to do? They might push them out the door. They'll get more lax on the regulations. They'll go back to this whole idea of trying to stimulate the economy. Yes, the natural market forces want people to back off and not spend and save and pay down their debt. The government does exactly the opposite. They want you to spend and borrow and inflate. As a matter of fact, the government wants inflation because they can never pay this debt. So they look for a devalued currency because, you know, you pay back 10 cents on the dollar and it's not as big a difficulty in paying off the debt. So that's what they're working on. They're frustrated because they don't have the inflation that they're looking for, because they equate inflation with a healthy economy, and that is not the case at all.
Very good points, all. Congressman, thank you very much. Good seeing you again.
Thank you, Neil.
Congressman Ron Paul, now fair and balanced, the other side.